I first learned of this idea when I first quit drinking alcohol 16 years ago. I read one of the Alan Carr books, No More Hangovers, one of those ones. At that point in my life, I was completely ready to stop, mainly because I could see that the alcohol caused pretty much every single aspect of my life to just be destroyed. And then when I read this book, it just made so much sense to me at the time. I didn't really extrapolate the information to anything else. And I guess I sort of fell into a lot of other types of addictive traps later on in my life, things like binge eating and other things. And I can see now how powerful the information that actually was in this book and how deeply it can reach us and how deeply it can change our lives based on the basically what he says is that there is zero benefit to actually drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes, or taking drugs, or you know, even actioning any addictive activity like watching porn or whatever, binge eating. There's zero benefit in these things. But the only reason that we as humans do them and crave them is because we perceive that these are giving us some kind of benefit in our lives. We will only do things that we believe have a benefit. It's just the way we're wired. Even things that are really strange that people do that seem highly negative, it's to protect themselves, or it's to express something, or it's to do this or that. There's always some benefit involved in the actions that we take. I'm sure if you're craving any kind of drug or substance or activity or thing or whatever, you perceive right now that this thing will bring benefit to your life. There's a simple kind of process you can go through, and I've gone through this with some things, and it's very powerful. It can instantly pretty much fix your addictions, and you won't really think about them again. I mean, you'll think about them, but you won't really crave them. And it's just write it down and write a list of reasons why you believe that choosing drugs doesn't benefit you, and try to convince yourself that there is absolutely no benefit in these things, in these poisons, because there really isn't. We can look at alcohol, for example. It takes far more than it gives. Maybe when we first have it, it gives us some kind of interesting buzz. But then for the rest of our lives, we're put in this state of imbalance where we keep chasing this buzz. We think our social skills get better, but they actually get worse. We may feel in some way less fear, but this isn't a good thing. This poison is not going to bring us any level of happiness. It is only going to cause us pain. It's only going to take away our health, our money, our relationships, our success, everything. And the more you look at the actions or the substances that you're addicted to in this way to see that they're pointless, it's very easy to see with things like porn and binge eating. We can see that there is absolutely no value in doing these things. There is none. And if we instead place our value in actually trying to find benefit in something else other than these things, it pretty much can instantly fix the problem. So find something else, like, for example, just life itself. We can find benefit in just trying to find peace and happiness in our normal lives, because that's possible. And that means some level of absolute avoidance of these substances and things, because they're pointless. Going towards these addictive things is simply not going to bring any value to our lives. There's no possibility of peace. There's no possibility of happiness. There's no possibility in doing these things that it's going to do anything except to make your life worse. So to quote the famous movie, we choose life. We make the choice to live and to try to find benefit in that. Then instantly these cravings that we get and these withdrawals become something different. We don't really crave it anymore because we see there's nothing in it. There may be some kind of physical craving or physical imbalance for a few days in the body, but it quickly goes away, and it's just perceived as another step towards us becoming clear and away from the things that do nothing for us, and towards a potential in our lives to have any level of peace and happiness. It really is that simple. And the more I think about it, the more I realize that I have been convinced for most of my life, if not all of my life, that drugs and alcohol and these addictive things can bring me some kind of benefit. So I still think about them. I still have some level of energy pointing towards them. It's a percentage, and the rest of my life going towards the things that may have actually made me happy were reduced, and I wasn't really into them as much because part of my brain was always there, always thinking about something, even gaming or whatever, something addictive that you believe brings benefit. So that's really all I wanted to say today. It is a very powerful exercise, and I highly recommend it. You may find that some of your addictive actions and things instantly fall away. There'll be no more cravings, be no more want for it. You'll instead will be 100% put your mind into your life and have a chance at actually having something positive. Thanks, guys.